it's time to introduce our first keynote speaker for the evening, Phil Charlton. Phil is the Director of Health, Wellbeing and Mindset, the Transformational Behavioural Change Specialist Coach, that's a mouthful, with over 35 years of professional coaching experience. Philip helps individuals and professionals break through mental barriers, rediscover their purpose, and take meaningful action towards long-term success. Through his coaching, Philip empowers people to gain clarity on their why. That's a biggie, isn't it? And align their lives with their true purpose. Overcome self-doubt, limiting beliefs, and negative thought patterns. Build resilience, confidence, and a success-driven mindset. Enhance their overall health, well-being, and mental strength. Get on the right path towards achieving their weight loss goals. Whether you're seeking personal transformation, professional growth, or looking to strengthen your leadership and team performance, Philip offers tailored coaching that delivers real results. If you're ready to create lasting change and unlock your full potential, let's start with that important first conversation. Please welcome Philip Charlton.
Good evening, everyone. Have you been in a situation that has changed your life forever? For me, that happens 3 years ago. Sure. Yeah. 3 years ago, I was attending a networking event, very similar to this, and it was at the old Royal Adelaide Hospital. During that event, I became lightheaded, disorientated, and I lost my balance. From that point, I was identified, people sort of picked up that I was not quite right and helped me to a chair. And then they brought me some water. And after a short period of time, I started to feel good again. So I decided to thank these people, and I better go home. And if it's no better in the morning, I will head to see the doctor. Well, life has many roads to challenge you. And as I was heading back to my car, I started to feel unwell again. Well, by the time I actually got to my car, I was not really that well. So I just thought I'd ring my son, and he told him what was happening, and he came and helped me. And he was about 40 minutes away. And by the time he actually got to me, I'd said to him, I think you better take me to the hospital. To which I went to the new Royal Adelaide Hospital and walked in, and it was a plethora of people everywhere. It was a very busy night. So I finally got to see somebody in their counter and explain what had happened. They said, take a seat and we'll get to see you as soon as we possibly can. A short time later, a nurse comes out and yells, Phil Charlton! And my son was still with me, and he points, he's over here. And she comes walking over to me, and she stopped. She looked at me and she went, oh shit. And she ran, and next thing I knew, I was in one of those tumbler things, having my head examined, and I was identified of having a stroke. I had a blood clot that had stuck inside one of my arteries on the occipital part of the brain. They gave me some tablets, and would you believe it? They said there's very little that we can do for you. Apart from that, the hospital's all jam-packed, and I think you'd be better off going home. So about 20 hours later, I was at home. A couple of days later, I was feeling not 100%, so I decided to go back to bed this particular Sunday morning. And while I was asleep, guess what happened? I had my second stroke. Because of the anticoagulants they gave me, they sent me home. With going home, I had that second stroke because the blood clot moved. And it has now left me with a vision impairment that meant that I had to give up driving, and I had to give up the love of my life. The most beautiful Mystique grey Ford Mustang. And I cried seriously when I had to hand back these keys. Plus, I lost the vision that allows you to read fluently. Now, I got to that point where I had two choices. Either I accepted what had happened to me and just live a life of pity, whatever. But I decided that that wasn't going to cut it for me. So I decided that I would learn how to teach people how to overcome adversity of their own. And from that, I've got 3 very simple tips that I will share with you now of what I did to help me that can help you move forward in your lives as well. The first one is you've actually got to get clarity. Clarity about what it is you truly want. That goal, that passion, that desire. What is it that you really, truly want? And once you've got that, you must write it down. And one of the easiest ways to do that is grab a pen, paper, and start writing, I am so happy and grateful now that I have. And then in that space, you then write exactly what it is that you truly want. Not anybody else wants for you, but for yourself. Have you ever done that at all? It's an exercise that I really encourage everybody to do. Once you've written it down, 2 more steps to go. The second one is you've got to learn to use your imagination. The power of visualization is unbelievable, the results that you'll get. So you've got to be able to see that dream, that goal, that passion that you've just written down. And you've got to see it morning, noon, and night time. That is what I did to bring Misty, the Mustang, into my world. Because I used the power of visualization to help me fly her. And the third step that is so crucial is you've got to take action. As ideas come to you, you do need to take action on that to achieve the dream goal that you want. As I mentioned, my strokes caused lots of issues. I spent about 18 months in the doldrums. And it wasn't until, you won't believe this, I decided to go away by myself but visit some relatives in a beautiful place in Western Australia, Kalgoorlie. 700 and something odd kilometres, I think it is, up in the north part of Western Australia from Perth. And I spent 7 days visiting relatives, but fortunately for me, I had no room in the inn. I had to stay in a cabin, and that was the best thing that happened, was because it allowed me an opportunity to reset myself. And I then started following the thoughts that I had just passed over to you guys. And I'll just repeat them again. First one is, you've got to set that goal. You've got to really understand what it is. You've then got to visualise that you actually got that goal deep inside of you. You've got to feel it as if it's already real. And then it's the action steps. As ideas come to you, you then start taking those steps towards the goal. I would like to offer each and every one of you an opportunity to have a discovery call with me, so I can then go through these three simple steps that I've just explained. And Karen at the back there will be kindly handing out a way of contacting me. And during this session, we will go deep into what it is you truly want, why you want it, and ways of means of getting that goal that you really desire. So please have a read. There's a QR code on there, and you just scan that. That'll take you to my website, and there's a link to be able to book your complimentary discovery call with me. So no matter what sort of challenges you're facing, it's so important that you take stock of what it is, identify some steps that you can take each and every single day to help you move forward. Last thing I'll leave you with, here is to your world of endless possibilities. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. That was amazing. I'd like to open up the floor to maybe 3 or 4 questions that people might want to ask Philip, and we can come around and the mic.
Yes, I'm wondering, Phil, how long you've been doing this for, and what has been one of your personal greatest heartfelt achievements in going into this new direction?
Coaching, mentoring, guiding has been part of my life, my working life for quite some time. I was a member of the Royal Australian Air Force, and part of my duties was to guide, train, mentor junior troops as they were coming up through the ranks. And I guess that's where I sort of started the passion. And then I got involved in other opportunities as life does. And it wasn't until probably about 5, 6 years ago that I started thinking, coaching would be quite a nice way of going forward. And then out of the blue, life hit a snag that I just was not expecting. There was no warning, absolutely nothing at all. And fortunately for me, that reset that I explained about going to Kalgoorlie sounds a strange place to go for a Christmas break, but it allowed me an opportunity to really sit down and seriously reflect on my life. What can I offer? What can I give back? And coaching, mentoring, it's one of the best things that's come out of it. And now public speaking, learning how to talk to you wonderful people.
Thank you, Philip. Anyone else?
Thanks, Philip. I think everybody in the room will relate to something that's made them have to reset in their life, no doubt, for maybe different reasons. When you did your reset, did it make your goal was different to what your goal was before you had your strokes?
Very, very much so. The reset, as I mentioned, was in Kalgoorlie, and I had a lot of opportunity to spend time by myself. There was no one around, apart from when you went and visited the relatives and etc. And that was the best thing. I did a lot of walking and thinking, and that reset didn't happen straight away. I was back home probably a month or so, and then ideas started to just come through. And part of that was learning how to become a public speaker and share my story, which hopefully can help someone else overcome some sort of adversity.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else would like to ask a question? No? Yep.
When you mentioned about mindset transformation, what are the techniques that you would help or apply to them to improve in mental issues that they have?
For me, one of the main things that I really had to dive deep in was I had to understand I had had these strokes, and I started saying to myself, why? Why did I have these strokes? And what benefit can I offer someone else from my experiences of these strokes? And from that, an opportunity came to volunteer at the Flinders stroke unit. I volunteer there twice a month, and all I do is just visit stroke survivors and sit down with them and say, "Hey, I'm Phil, I've had a stroke, what a chat." And the majority of people go, "Oh, have you?" "Oh." And I start asking lots of questions, and it's amazing how you can help someone by giving them encouragement and support. And usually a relative is usually in the room at the same time. And they are the ones that ask the most questions because they want to know everything, all the ins and outs of how this stroke has affected people, not only me, but the immediate family and things like that as well. Yeah.
Did you have a question?
No.
Oh. Oh, so that's it then. That's a wrap.
So you get a report.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Phil. Let's give it up for Phil. Okay, I've got 2 mics here.